All right, 4:30 weather impact live for Wednesday afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins.
And I'm 10 Tampa Bay Meteorologist Colleen Campbell.
And we have another named storm out there. Our seventh named storm of the season. Tropical Storm Gabrielle is out there. It's got a cone, obviously, went from depression to tropical storm status earlier today. There's also a couple of other waves out there that we're watching, about 20% chance for development at this particular point. We'll go over those, but for now, I guess we should get started with Gabrielle because it's been a while. It's been since
August 23rd.
the 23rd. I was going to say 28th, but you're right. The 23rd through the 17th, or at least the 16th completely, right? And we haven't had a period in that period that without a named storm since what was like 86 years since it's been like that.
Yeah.
So we have the lulls, we have the quiet periods in the tropics, even in the heart of the season, but we haven't seen a lull that long in this part of the season in 86 years. So it was bound to happen that we get a storm system. All right, let's get to the maps here now. And I've got the track here first, so I'm going to kind of just big picture this. This is Tropical Storm Gabrielle. You can see the track off to the north, then west-northwest, and then northwest, and then it moves near Bermuda. All right, now this gets a little bit trickier, but bottom line is we got a wave right here that you can barely see behind that X, and then we have this wave right here over Africa getting ready to come off. Those are the two that we're watching, not really concerned about those all that much. Let's get back up here. Visible satellite, we're losing it, losing daylight, but you can see that is, yeah, that's it, and some shears on it. So notice how there's not a lot of convection on this side. There's some shear blowing in that direction.
Yeah.
So this has got a little tough road to go. 45-mile-per-hour winds, pressure's 1,005 millibars, and it's moving north-northwest at 22 miles per hour.
Yeah, definitely has some speed to it there in
Yeah,
its early stages.
Yeah, that's going to make it even tougher for this thing to get going. However, the Hurricane Center says that it does get into a better environment, and we do end up with a hurricane by Sunday morning. There's Bermuda, by the way, okay? So this is St. Martin. As you can see Puerto Rico here. The Lesser Antilles are well clear of this. Great news. It does have it maintaining about 45 to 50 through Thursday morning, through Friday morning, and then as it's pulling further to the north and the west is when it will start to get a little bit better organized. So it's going to struggle here for the next couple of days. Now, forecast models are running on it, as you can see here, and thank goodness most of those still forecast a recurve.
Yep. Yeah, definitely like to see that, especially, you know, there's some outliers there, 1, 2, 3 outliers, but generally they're in pretty good agreement of having that recurve and really staying away for most of the islands. It's just Bermuda that we really have our eye on. Now, of course, it will kind of track north of some of those islands, but Bermuda kind of in the heart of it when you look at both the cone and the spaghetti models.
That's, I mean, it's really tough to see. That's Bermuda right there.
Right in the middle.
Now, if the track does go to the east of Bermuda, that's a better scenario for them. Most of the rain, especially if there's some wind shear, although I think it will be dying down at that point, but most of the rain, the wind, the clouds, all that will be on the right side of it. So if it takes a track out here, the worst weather will be out to the east and not over Bermuda. So, I mean, what we had, Colleen, we had Aaron.
Yeah. Aaron and our other
Farron.
tropical storm. Yeah.
And they both went, I think Farron went to the east of it. Aaron went to the west of it. Remember, Aaron was very close to the Carolinas, actually.
Yeah, kind of threading the needle there.
Yeah, they've done pretty good so far this year. Now, this is the ensemble models, just the GFS that you can see there. And it pretty much, those runs suggest that it makes it to the east. Now, let's take a look at the GFS and the Euro. Now, the ensemble runs, okay? And so the white lines that you see there are the European model. And I'll show you a version of the European. A lot of times it's just like this. All right, I'll go ahead and show it to you right now. Let's see what it says for now. This is the one run of the model. This is the main run that we'll show you. This is Friday. There's where it is, okay? It barely even has a closed low at that point. I don't see much back here either.
Yeah.
Now let's go through the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Look what's happened. You see how it's getting stronger here? It kind of came up and went like this. I don't see much back behind it, which means this run of the European model, the main run, just thinks that this one will do very similar to what the Hurricane Center is saying. It's kind of struggle here, and then start to get stronger as it moves by. And it has it to the east. Now, that's one model run, okay? So it's hard to look at that model run and get an idea of what the overall model is thinking. Because if you look at this, look at just the white lines here. Those are multiple runs of the European forecast model. And what they'll do is they'll tweak a little bit of the input data, a little bit of the physics in it, say, make sure that high to the east is stronger, make sure that the high to the west is stronger, things like that will kind of give it an idea that are in the realm of possibility, and then run that model multiple times. And so those small tweaks end up giving you multiple lines, right? Because they're running at 30 sometimes. And you can see the white lines are still in here. And you can also notice that the GFS ensembles, same setup, right? They're a little bit further to the west.
Yeah.
In fact, to me, it almost looks like a lot of these European models even initialized further to the north. You see how they're starting there? So I think if you shifted this down to here, you would get all of this back over to where the GFS is. So either way, it's out there over the water, most of it, okay? Wind shear, and I'll show you that right now. We, of course, do have plenty of wind shear out there, and that's what's part of affecting the system right now. And here it is. Let me run this out just a little bit. And this is Friday. Here's our system, okay? A little bit of wind shear there. Not a whole lot down here, and that's one thing that we'll watch. There's going to be a little bit here initially for these waves coming off, but the wind shear is going to be up to the north, and so it's going to open the road for this to see if anything wants to develop. Meanwhile, look at the Gulf.
Shut down.
It's amazing.
Definitely something we like to see.
I don't remember a season where we've seen this much shear.
Yeah.
For this long of a period. Now, it's not going to last long. I think it will switch a little bit. But we'll run this model out and you'll see. Let's go out through Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now, part of this wind shear is some of the jet stream, and it's going like this.
Right.
So Gabrielle is here now, and it's here now, and it's going to go up to here. So it's actually getting into that. And that's what typically happens anyways as they gain latitude, right? The further north they go, they get up into the jet stream and some wind there. So that's expected. But that's Monday. Okay, now let's go out next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Look at the Gulf. It starts to lay down a little bit. You see that? We're not seeing quite as much wind shear, but we do have some. You see the Western Gulf continues to get a lot of wind shear, and there's going to be some in here, but just not a lot. The issue is this area in here is where we start watching for storms as we get towards late September and October.
Yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on the Caribbean, moving towards that time.
And what this date is the 27th of September, right? So we're getting towards the end of the month, and go figure, we start losing a little bit of that wind shear. But it's just kind of, that's the way the odds work. And you have that much wind shear over the Gulf for that long, it just can't last. I mean, just the odds of it alone are in favor of it dying down, and that's what it looks like will happen. But, we'll see, because we also start seeing more troughs coming down, which is exactly what that is, right? That's a trough. That's why we had slightly drier air last weekend. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So the pattern's trying to cool off and get us into an early fall. It's not going to happen here, but we are going to warm back up. But that's where we're looking at right now. Okay, real fast, let's talk about these two other systems. I showed you the forecast model. At least the European doesn't show you much. This is tough to see. So this X right here is a small area of showers and thunderstorms near the Cape Verde Islands, okay? That one's going to go to the west. So that's this area down here. That one has a 10 to 20% chance for showers, or for development, 20% days 3 through 7, all right? This wave right here, and you're going to see, look at all that red. You see all that popping up right there? That is going here and maybe recurving.
Yeah, Bobby, I like how you kind of illustrated this, because when they
it's tricky.
Yeah, when they tagged both those areas earlier, I was like, now how do I show this to the viewers? Because there's a lot going on. It's basically right on top of one another. But yeah, it's important to pay attention, where we currently have that wave, where that X is, and as Bobby was pointing, that's moving off to the west, and then we have that other one that hasn't even emerged off the coast yet, that we've got that another yellow bean, if you will, that's sitting out there now. So it is an overlap in those two watch areas.
Yeah, the one that curves to the north is the one that's still over Africa. The one that goes further to the west, that's the one. That's the small one that's right there. So either way, we'll watch both of these. I do not see any threats to Florida, to the United States at this particular time. The season's, we're in the second half of the season, but we're still right near the middle of prime time. So we still got a lot to watch for, but that's good news that we don't have any imminent threat right now for the area. And that we have Gabrielle hopefully curving, which it looks like it will.
Yeah.
All right, 4:41. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about our local weather. We've had some pretty good showers and storms out there and even some flood advisories today.
Oh, yeah.
Weather impacts your life every day. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. You can find out about any change in the weather with our 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. Just stream for the latest forecast, any weather impact alert, updated tropics forecast, and take a live look at the radar. Anytime you want, and it's free. It's just one more way we're helping you stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
Jeopardy is for everybody,
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
with players just like you.
Paramedic, a retired teacher, psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories
We have a giant killer.
and heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy!
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30 right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
I was driving when an 18-wheeler turned in front of me. I locked up my brakes, bam, slid dead into the truck. Bloody and hurt, I was loaded into an ambulance, and that's when I put out my phone and called attorney Dan Newton. Dan jumped right on it. He was in my corner the whole way. He fought the fight from beginning to end and got me $1 million.
Involved in a car accident? Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Dan, your awesome team deserves 6 stars. Thank you for winning my case.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Secure outdoor equipment and generators. Clear debris from around your AC unit and schedule a pre-storm HVAC and electrical inspection.
Those are some great tips, and Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40 today.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So we left you off with the tropics. Now we're going to talk about some weather here in the States.
Kind of tropics.
Yeah, a little bit. It kind of has the characteristics of a tropical system. So let's bring up the radar. This is over really the Delmarva area right now, but this is a system that was really over the Carolinas, bringing a lot of trouble. So this is a cold core low, right, Bobby? But I mean, it looks like it could have been easily tropical.
Yeah, it
over
looks like it.
lands, of course, it's not going to have much of a chance turning tropical, but really brought a lot of rainfall and some flooding to those parts.
Yeah,
So-
and so what the difference between a tropical system and what happened here is really, in this case, temperature.
Right.
It's a little bit more like a nor'easter, right? There was some cool, dry air to the northwest, warm waters over the Gulf Stream, along the Hatteras, and so we mentioned Aaron earlier and how it went closer to Hatteras than Bermuda. But remember, we were talking about all that erosion and the overwash that happened in North Carolina. Well, with Aaron. Well, they saw that again with this.
Yeah.
And you can see, let me zoom down in here a little bit. I'm going to go back a little bit. You can see where the center was. It's actually right in this area here. And then it just drifts off towards the north. And in fact, it starts to get a little bit better organized. Watch this. I'm going to put it in motion now. And you can see how it's starting right there east of Hatteras, northeast of Hatteras, east of
Right.
Elizabeth City.
Yep.
Look at that bowling ball,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
So-
it was trying.
Yeah, that's more of a nor'easter than anything else. But take a look at this video out of North Carolina. Yet again, Highway 12 got washed over, and then there you go. I mean, we've been watching. These are some of the houses that we were watching when Aaron was coming through.
Yeah. Now, Bobby, you grew up in that area. A lot of those houses, people have abandoned, I don't want to say abandoned, but they did. They abandoned them
Yeah.
a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Because erosion has been going on in this area for quite some time.
I mean, the Hatteras Lighthouse itself, they had to move back
Yeah.
half a mile, quarter mile. I can't remember how long it is, but they had to actually physically move the entire lighthouse away from the immediate coastal areas. What happens is along the east coast of the United States, and especially here in Hatteras, we have what's called a longshore current, which means the flow is coming from the north to the east. And so the beaches erode quite a bit. And when you get up to Ocean City and in Rehoboth, they have jetties. Right? Those jetties hold the sand. That's why they are there. And more recent times, they don't really, for environmental reasons, build a lot of those jetties. They'll do it around inlets and things like that that are important for getting boats in and out, right? But for the most part, they don't really put a lot of jetties in, and so you get erosion. All right, and that's those islands. Hatteras is supposed to be a barrier island, a barrier for mainland North Carolina, right? That's what all of our coast is. You know, Indian Rocks, Madeira Beach, all of that is barrier islands essentially.
Yeah.
And in another world, we wouldn't live on those. We would live just inland. So when a storm comes, they would take the brunt of the storm. But that's what happens over on the East Coast. And so they got another one yesterday, and then it was flooding up in the Delmarva and up into Maryland as well. 4, 5, 6 inches of rainfall, which is exactly what you would expect when you get a tropical system coming on shore. But again, non-tropical, didn't get a name, anything like that.
Yeah.
Wild. And you know what? You know, the pattern tends to repeat. So for me, that means we will be watching for some mischief. Sorry about that. Mischief down in here, trying to come back up again over the next couple of weeks, right? The Europeans even trying to show that, and that just makes sense because that's how the patterns tend to work. You see all this moisture kind of gathering in here? Look at that. That's the rain and the clouds that we've seen today. A lot of the cloud cover that we have is coming from these storms that are offshore, and that, look at that. See how it's pushing on shore?
Yeah, we showed a video earlier during our 11 o'clock stream of, if anybody joined us then, I don't know if Parisa, our producer, has that video up now. She doesn't have it now, okay. But all the flooding that was over in the Fort Lauderdale area. And I remember, what was it, 2-3 years ago in April, same thing. You know, we had a low that was just offshore, and although it wasn't tropical, it brought rounds and rounds of rain, easily flooded the Hollywood area, Hollywood, Florida area, Dania Beach. I mean, they just had tons of rain, and just flooding occurred very quickly. So they were dealing with that again recently. And you can see we have that elongated area low pressure that's indicated by those dots on your screen. That would be a trough. Still a lot of moisture trapped down there, especially as you get out towards the Bahamas. So locally here today, you know, Bobby, we've had a couple flood advisories ourselves.
Yeah.
Most of it across Southwest Florida, but
and really slow moving. I mean, if you look at it right now, it's very slow moving out there. So that's just going to be popping up some flood watches or warnings. I don't have anything in effect right now. Yeah, we do out here in Polk City. So we have a flood advisory in effect until 6:30. You can see the rain that's now moving mainly to the south of where that area was.
Yeah.
But that means, you know, Lake Alfred, Davenport, and over to Auburndale, all those areas, 2-3 inches of rainfall is possible. That's the live radar. Let me put it into motion. This is the last hour. All right. So Lakeland's seeing a ton of rainfall, at least the last 30 minutes. I had one over my house, Northwest Hillsboro, earlier today, and it was not just a slow-moving storm, but it was heavy rainfall.
Oh yeah, we had a couple of reports of local flooding in Seminole, I believe, and then that cell just moved south into Kenneth City. That flood advisory, by the way, for everybody at home, that expired at 4:30. So
and
about
the one up there
10
in
minutes ago.
Polk County is going to be 6:30. All right, when we come back, we'll take one more look at the radar, and then I'm going to show you the forecast model, and we'll peek into the weekend.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. You need quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
These big trucks are dangerous and fast. And when it comes to big truck wrecks, the stakes can be really high. That's why you need a lawyer that's gotten big results for his clients. Hi, I'm attorney Dan Newland. I've recovered billions of dollars for accident victims. So if you've been hit by one of these big trucks or involved in a car accident, call me now. Let me fight for you.
At 813-888-8000. That's 813-888-8000.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Secure outdoor equipment and generators. Clear debris from around your AC unit and schedule a pre-storm HVAC and electrical inspection.
Those are some great tips. And Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40-TODAY.
Jeopardy is for everybody,
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
with players just like you.
Paramedic, a retired teacher, psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories
We have a giant killer.
and heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy!
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30 right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
All right, 451. Want to take you to the radar real fast. We have something that are called outflow boundaries. And there's two of them coming together right now over southeastern Hillsborough County. So I think the rain really is going to fill in from Fishhawk down to Sun City Center. You see this little green line right here? It's this arc, and then there's another arc that's like that. They're coming together, and when they meet, you tend to get a lot of showers and thunderstorms, okay? So I really think this area is southeastern Hillsborough County, and it's all kind of drifting to the northeast, which means it's going to get up towards Willow Oak and eventually up towards Plant City. That's where we're going to expect quite a bit of rainfall. Some of this is forecast to drift back towards the coast. Watch this forecast model here. You can see, watch southeastern Hillsborough, okay? It's picking up on that. All right, I'm glad to see that happen. But then watch what this does. This doesn't go all the way over there. This actually builds back to the west and goes back to the northwest. So we'll see if that happens, but that's through 9 o'clock tonight, which means West Chase, downtown Tampa, St. Pete even, northwest Hillsborough, northern Pinellas County, some rain chances all the way through about 10:30 for tonight.
Yeah.
For tomorrow, I'll run this out just a little bit ahead. I think we start off dry. We should see a little bit more sunshine for tomorrow, especially the first half of the day. And then the second half will start to get some higher clouds. But overall, it's a drier day tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, even towards the end of the week, I didn't see a ton of rainfall as we kind of finished off the week. It looks like we have a little bit of drier air that's trying to wrap in. But, I mean, the rain will still be out there. It's just, yeah. So